Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to read another Kingdom Marionettes fanfic by Monochrome Freak. You, my Monarch. Remember taking a quiz? Are you a poet, soldier, or king? Once, and a result of getting a king role shook you to the core. You're always more interested in art, a career field, passionate in something people turn a blind eye on, yet always prize it over. Degrading artists' work when they consume it with greatness. The Mermon could envy over. Perhaps that's why humans work so hard to create artificial intelligence, slot built by envy. Envy of works that could never replicate without actually trying. Instantaneous. Like how the systems demand you to follow. You expected getting a poet role, since you thought it fits your archetype and personality best, living in delusion of your creation in order to not lose your sanity and sense of self in this horrendous world. To play pretend and find your election. To wave your own freedom to break free from the strings the lates prepare you with. You see the world as a mere glamour stage to pose. That's how you got into theater back then. On the stage, you and yourself and someone or something else. You built your mass joy from emotions and body language. You had so many roles to carry on the stage, bring your limps like it was no longer yours. The audience will clap and cheer at your displays, but foolish enough to barely scratch the surface of why you were playing the roles. Maybe that's why you broke, because you're still a little nobody with little recognition, as people can't afford to pay for your performance, or are guideless enough to not care about the subtle traces. Ironic, isn't it? So you forced to apply on a red carpet of desperation, which led you to become a night guard at abandoned theater with 3 main duties. You seem to teeter the building properties and don't know whether to laugh or cry. The place looks way bigger for a mere theater, and instead built like an actual castle from your historical lessons. Is this destiny's way to tell you that your interest to play pretend isn't settled and a waste of time? Why in the world would an abandoned place need a security guard? But it doesn't mean you're not intrigued. Oh no. Quite the contrary. In fact, the Kingdom Marionettes, the place used to be famous for its life-size puppet performances on the royal era and intricate designs. I guess the phrase, "all roads lead to Rome," turns out to be right. After all, you mumble as you read over the requirements and job descriptions. Keep the theater safe from vandals, clean the theater. Okay, you could do so. Okay, you do you, copywriter. Make sure none of the puppets are missing and walking around. And monitor CCTV cameras. What? You squint your eyes, making sure your eyesight is still okay. Make sure none of the puppets are missing and walking around? What? You thought you'd be more sensible and smart than a horror movie's protagonist. Yes, you did blink and double take at the sentence. Whenever desperation tends to push people over the edge, so you inhale and seal your fate after you dial the contract. Dial the contract as they settle it immediately. No interview, not a scam. too good to be true, you're sure about. You laughed at horror movies, unrealistic behavior, since it's not in you're not in their shoes. How? Now you're the one in their shoes, and you're sure not being able to laugh at the creepy and dark atmosphere as dread and goosebumps claim you. The place is massive. Mossy bricks and corridors upon corridors that lead you to somewhere unknown. You're surprised there's no trace of vandalism at all outside, and it somewhat unsettles you. But that's can't be paid with with green leaves. So brace yourself for that. What is to come? Stepping your foot and breathing new breath into the building. Unfortunately, you didn't have the detailed map of the inner structure. Aside from your assigned room, storage room, puppet room, and the main stage, you stick to the map you have first, designed to buy another flashlight soon to explore the rest of the nook and cranny, just in case you need emergency stock. The only electricity you tried so far only works in your room, and you don't want to drain the battery early in your shift. He skipped the storage room and gathered some clean supplies. Turning on and tucking your flashlight under your arm as you step on a red ball. Wasn't there before. It squeaks as you lightly squish the ball before pocketing it and heading to the warmest stage. It was silent. You can't survive being suffocated by nothingness in this dull and dreaded fear. So you start to hum a tune and the songs you like as you sweep to not feel vulnerable. The melody of your voice brings you a small sense of comfort. Clean the dust and grime. Old witness of the past. Performing a real chore as the ghost of the audience keeps you company. Dancing and acting like you're the main character of the stage, end to end, from start to finish, until you bow to your exhaustion. Neat curves and shiny floorboard. Sweat clings to your temple and uniform as you control and regain your breath. Tiring it is, but you're satisfied with your handiwork. You hop off the stage and try to see the result from the audience seat. Pride fills you as you sigh before determining to do your last two duties before you clock out. You're now standing face to face to the barrier between you and the puppets stored, located at the end of the corridor. Whoever designed the fear wasn't really bright. Who in their right mind would put a critical aspect of puppetry equipment at the very end of such a hallway? It should have been near the stage. You huffed an amused thought of a show you once watched before turning the Nordom lost. If you're not mistaken. This is the puppet room. I didn't get it wrong, did I? This looks a lot more of a prison. Sentenced with rules of each door. Jester, knight, butler, priest, chef, maid, wizard, and king. There's no queen in the sight. You recall the instruction and decide to check the 3 nearest doors out of the 20 puppets you should report. Jester's room decorated with the striped patterns and colors dominated by the black, red, and yellow, with cores filled with all kinds of acrobat properties, and the puppet standing there, hunched over. Knight's room is neatly kept, with various shield decorations, with the owner sitting upright. King's room. Is there a reason why there's letters on the door? It's lavish with proper bedding, lounge, and painting for, well, a king. But the owner's nowhere to be found. Is the king puppet missing? Or is there no king puppet in the first place? Head straight to your room, reporting your observation, and tinkering with the CTV as you sit back, relaxed, and What the heck is that? You whisper, yelled in disbelief. Is that a vandal? Or freshly cleaned stage? On the freshly cleaned stage? Nah, you're not going to let them ruin your handiwork. Your hard work. Storming to the fear hall, with flashlight and button and steps mostly feel by and bother upset. The stage is dark, but you're not going to let that deter you. Moving closer before boo. Ears work a little too well, faster than your eyes could process, and while a scream of fright, as a figure popped in existence before your very eyes. Without warning, you falter as you feel your soul knock out heaven's door for a split second. Only then did you realize that the figure has spells attached to his hat, slashing you to be quiet as your brain processes and connecting the dots and trying to calm your racing heart. He smirks. What's wrong? Nope, you considered quitting already. But you can't chicken out right now, cloying your thoughts as reality hits you like a truck. The warning is real. The pups are alive. You don't want to believe it, but you have enough proof to wrap your head around the fact. Jester snaps his fingers and disappears from your vision. You blink, and you feel a cold mechanical hand gently caressing your arm. It gives you a shiver to your spine. Comparing the size of your and his palm, this pup is bigger than you are, maybe 2 meters. A hand so small and soft, like a can's paw, a form so small, so broken, yet somehow brimming with warmth and movement. A vessel that racks, trembles, and changes so beautifully. He locks his eyes with you, agreeing with something that you can't name, and the face, always shifting, always telling the stories without meaning to. You really are human. No shit, Sherlock. You already know he's not human, though. The cracks, through the cracks of his face, canine sharps like carnivores prepared to strike, and as he examines gaze, you feel like you're bitten more than you could chew when his eyes sparkle with something you call devotion and hope. A leader who will give us life once more and lead us towards the lives we were always meant to live. His silent, letting your hand fall to your side as he arises and stands in front of you with a gesture loyal people feed on. That's why I'm here, to soften the air, to deliver laughter, to carry joy whenever it dares to fade. Now, can you guess who I am? A few seconds in, and you already know. He's quite a chatterbox, a jester. The jester raises his hand in mock surrender. Ding, ding, ding. You're correct. Though to be price. Jester's merely my role. Allow me to properly introduce myself to you, sweet human. My name's Justin. You may call me Justin. Though some prefer some other variations, I'm afraid. Now that I've offered you my name, allow me. Justice wants to ask yours in return. You can't back out from the situation, can you? So you answer and give him yours. Justin's eyes soften. Lion, lovely name for such a lovely soul. But tell me, what brings you to this kingdom? I wonder, are you perhaps carried out a duty for the crown? You familiarize yourself with the oddballs of the fear before, and you already know that Justin perfectly plays and always performs his role as a jester. A glad experience taught you things, walking in as an unknown role in this unusual, magical kingdom. You dust your clothes, I'm just a security guard. My job's to watch over the kingdom and do a bit of cleaning on the side. The truth made him laugh in mock amusement. Guarding isn't such a noble calling. A protector of the kingdom. One who stands firm, fighting on until the very last drop of blood. And yet, regrettably, you cannot become a guardian here. We have a knight who serves as the kingdom's shield. His name's Niter, and we have no intention of welcoming another. One knight is more than significant. Yep, that confirms it. Justin and most likely the rest of the puppets are part of this kingdom. The roles they assigned to is their purpose in life. So that means the maid and butlers too. Can I be one of them then? Oh, no. Everyone who comes here must have a role of their own. You'd think I already know where this is going. And the role that currently stands vacant is the role of the kingdom. What happens to the previous king? Justin's expression turned grim for a split second and went as fast as it came. Saw how he passed away. You know, there's more to the surface. I'm sorry, my condolences. You should have grieved, but you hear no such emotion from his tone. It's all right, my dear. It's simply how life is. People come and go. It's part of the cycle, and you cannot escape. I believe humans understand that very much. It has been a very long time since the king passed. This kingdom has grown terribly dark, filled with silence, without direction or joy. I must admit, it's grown rather boring here. You collapse, and your eyes widen, and his assumptions start to come true. But now that I have met such a sweet human before me, why don't you indulge me in a little game, Your Majesty? Justin snaps his fingers in an instant. You found yourself already on stage, sitting upon a flesh throne, and crown heavy upon your head. Internally sigh. Dealing with inhumans always leads to such occurrences. Guess artists are mostly always right. One day beneath the scorching summer sun, the kingdom was struck by trouble once more. The farmers were filled with sorrow. As the relentless heat of summer scorched the land, you have to admit the phantom narrator and musicians are a great job of setting the scene. Shame there's no audience to watch you ace in the hole. Crops whittle and fail under this drought, leaving the field barren. As a result, the farmers suffered great losses. With no harvest left to sell, in the end, the farmers brought their pilots before their majesty, hoping that they might receive aid and relief. Within the kingdom, their majesty sat upon the throne, their expression crowded with confusion. When Justin, the royal jester, appeared before them to replay the troubles facing by the farmers, Justin appears and bows before you with almost reverence. Good evening, Your Majesty. What a truly beautiful day today is. A day just as fitting to tend to little troubles stirring within the kingdom. Won't you agree, Your Majesty? Do speak, Justin. What are the troubles? As of late, the townsfolk have begun to voice their worries. The harvests have failed, brought low by the restless drought of the dry season, and as one might expect, such a misfortune has left them quite lacking in means. Justin stands upright and make way. Please come, dear guest. A man who worked as a farmer then entered before Justin granted the man permission to enter. So Justin, the one who holds power and control in this kingdom, huh? It could so many artworks to no simple clothing worn by commoners and kingdoms. Greetings, Your Majesty. Please forgive my boldness, but we come before you humbly to seek your aid. Due to the failed harvest, we no longer have the means to place the crops that whittled, nor do we have the funds to meet our daily needs. Thus, we beg you to grant us your guidance. You cross your legs and prop your elbow, like how Ruler usually does, the other hand playing with the armchair. Not arrogance or boredom, but drowning in thoughts to fetch long-term strategy. A position of power isn't just a title, but a responsibility of many lives. What of the scholars? We don't know much about them, but it seems like they scrambled to search for possible aids from other nations. You turn to Justin. Justin, I need you to relay this message to all, especially the scholars. They shall heed my command at the moment's notice. You clear your thoughts. I'll provide you with funds to trade with other nations for food. The amount needed is not a problem, but stock enough to last a few months, and counting today in. Then request to the scholars to lend you their aid to build water channels. In the meantime, are there any crops that can survive drought? The farmer thinks for a moment. There are, Your Majesty, tomatoes, corn, and root crops, for example. Ask the scholars for their aid again and plant crops that can survive the drought season. With the seeds taken from the granary. Well, if the food stock is not enough for the next month, I'll permit the granary to be open for the public use. Once everything's settled back to normal, fill the granary and barns again with food stock so that we may survive in our crisis. Upon hearing the ruler's decision to provide the farmers with their wise guidance, the farmer's heart danced with joy. Of course, Your Majesty. That sounds like a good idea. Thank you very much. With a joyful heart, the farmer finally left the palace to deliver the good news. You can feel Justin's eyes on you, returning to his previous position with glee. Oh, Your Majesty, such a truly wise and kind-hearted decision. It's not a bad idea at all. You're so kind, Your Majesty, and kindness is a beautiful thing. But when given such a limit, it turns into expectations. You squint your eyes. What are you applying, Justin? Do you doubt my decisions? My decision? He tilted his head and smiled. Of course not, Your Majesty. I will not dare to do it. But you're sure of your decision? May my subjects publicly behead me if the majority of them ever once experienced dissatisfaction under my rules. Now, if you have nothing left to say, carry on with your duty. Justin fell silent for a minute or so before bowing to you. Of course, Your Majesty, I shall do as your command. Oh, you definitely bit more than you could chew. The music still plays, which means the performance isn't over yet. Not until Justin is satisfied with your act. The day passed slowly within the kingdom, and without their majesty realizing it. The time has once shown 9 in the morning has already advanced to 1 in the afternoon. At the very moment, a formal letter from another kingdom suddenly arrived. Upon learning of this, the butler promptly took the letter and set to deliver it to their majesty. Hello, narrator. You claimed to have a butler deliver the parchment scroll to you, but the butler handed it to Justin instead. Blasphemy, he thought. After scanning the content, Justin glanced at you. Your Majesty, we have received a most astonishing and rather intriguing request from a neighboring kingdom. In short, they wish to purchase a small piece of land over the border, under the pretense of facilitating trade. Should Your Majesty agree to the arrangement, they were prepared to offer compensation in gold coins, an amount I'm quite certain would give Your Majesty a heart attack on the spot. His eyes focus on you. So then, what will you do, Your Majesty? I refuse. You scoff and turn your head in disdain. Send a letter back immediately. Oh? Justin's eyes twinkle. To turn down such generosity? How admirable. One can only hope our neighbors share Your Majesty's appreciation for principles. Very well, I shall inform our neighbors of Your Majesty's will. Generosity is a mark. In real-life scenarios, that kind of offer is a dangerous double-edged sword that often leads many to their downfall. Choosing what's right is a decision to mull over. But you're a Monarch, not a tyrant. Money can make something simpler, but freedom is not negotiable. And I believe that for now, the matters your mastery was acquired to resolve has reached the end of today's program. Finally, before you're able to let yourself relax, your phone rings, and the ringtone seems to surprise Justin too. You know who's calling, and you don't want to deal with it right now, but you can't run forever, so you swallow the lump in your throat and pick up the call. Hearing another one of the loan shark's warnings and barely survive their bite. Only for a month, Justin's hands gently kneel at your shoulders, widely smiling as he knows about your personal matters now. The cat's out of the bag, and Justin won't let it escape. Your mastery, your personal matters are the kingdom's matters, and that makes them my concern as well. As the kingdom's jester, Justin's task in the kingdom is to entertain and reveal the truth through jest. Is that concern on his face? You may tell me your troubles, your mastery. After all, I am your most loyal and only jester. You want to tell him, but you do, so you're not the only one who bears the burden. But the debts you owe came from a system's fault. Being in debt isn't a shameful decision, but the world tends to make it look like one. Just never doubt themselves and steady as a rock, self-reliant, and always leads to their people. This is how a Monarch should act, and I understand your concern, but this is mine on to bear. Silence wraps itself around the two of you. You softly smile. I will ask for the kingdom's help if I know I can't solve it before we hit rock bottom. I promise you that much, Justin. Oh, your mastery, such a noble resolution you have. Though I wonder, have you surrendered yourself with those loyal to you? Justin's facial expression revealed more of his non-human side. Perhaps those loyal to you may even help you destroy the ones who hurt you just for you. You don't know whether to be scared or roused. Honestly, scroused? People change. You know that much, Justin. If I could see the change of heart and personal traits, it would never put the kingdom in danger, if not for these very nature. The jester puppet chuckled and expression ached Rick Glenn. Perhaps instead of asking what more you could give, you should ask yourself what you are refusing to take. You could, but you don't want to become evil, following the steps of the devil like the corrupt government and the elites, living your life on an honest principle. I'm a Monarch, not a cruel tyrant, Justin. He stepped away from you and clapped his hand. Now allow me to present you with entertainment. You must be tired working all day. Yes, your majesty, much as I adore the special yours, like a bat awakened in broad daylight. I would still rather not see you forever wearing a face so utterly void of joy. You free yourself, not taking offense to his truth. I'm quite parched. Then the butler serves you with water jug and pours a drink as you thank him and down the liquid. If the drink is poison, you know who don't. I shall make you smile once more, melting the chill of your life with the fire of delight I bring you. Allow me. After you take your fill, Justin snaps his fingers and summons a rectangular object wrapped in a layer of gold and tied neatly with a red ribbon. He hands it to you, allowing you to unwrap the object. Chocolate? Indeed, your majesty. Everyone loves chocolate. Who doesn't? And it's not just any ordinary chocolate. I crafted every step of it with all my heart, carefully, gently, and with utmost devotion. So I hope you savor your savor my handmade chocolate. And not forget the color of the wrapping, Your Majesty. Yeah, halt. You call his bluff, Justin? Yes, Your Majesty. There's something in the chocolate, isn't there? I'll be fooled. At first he softly laughed, then turned manic, as he proven your words true. Ah, so someone didn't forget the color of the wrapping gift after all. He sharpened the look, Your Majesty. He chuckled. I got poisoned a few times, but God didn't give me permission to die. At that, Justin's eyes widened and narrowed in silent proof. Oh, Your Majesty, I'm not that cruel. It was merely a prank. I would never do something so merciless for the sake of joy. You blink, really? Really. His smile doesn't reach his eyes anymore. Please forgive me, Your Majesty. I'll give you proper entertainment this time. I promise this isn't another prank. You blink twice at the object he presents you. Red belt and golden chime bell. A collar? That is correct, Your Majesty. Justin removes his tie and loosens his collar as he sits in pure confusion before understanding his attention. When he fastens the collar around his neck and places the leash in your hand, please. He had experience of acting as a sadist. But what? You're terribly confounded. Are you secretly a sadist? Why do you actually enjoy this? Enjoy his pathetic plea. How did things end up like this? Please, Justin's voice growled heavy as he see his purple puppet face burn red. It does something to you. Is he blushing? Hello? Why does he look more excited for this? I'm yours to command, Your Majesty. Do with me whatever you wish. You saw a thick lump in your throat. Just this. You may command me to do anything, Your Majesty. Lie down, open my mouth. Whatever you order, I shall obey. Please, relax yourself, Your Majesty, and enjoy yourself with me. Justin's eyes glow feral when you hold eye contact with him. I will entertain you, okay? Sit, and he does that. Impatiently waiting for your next command, so he decided to tug the collar as your royal gesture lets out a surprised gasp and whimper before you tug him to crawl closer. Come here. The cold metal of your crown helps a little to ground you in this surrealistic situation. The huge puppet of a jester lowers himself before you with a love-sick gaze. Immediately obey each and every one of your commands so far. Pet, oh gosh, this sounds horrible, but this is a fitting term. I'd assumed you were an aspirant, Your Majesty. He confessed as his gaze slowly morphs into a possessive warmth slipping for a moment. Yet from what I'm witnessing right now, you resemble someone who's far more accustomed to such things with others. He tugged the leash again, and Justin chokes gasp. Remember the red ball from earlier and take it out of your pocket as you raise it high, slowly commanding him to fetch it. It does as you gesture, buying down the red ball as his non-resistant tail wags happily. Are you jealous? If that's the case, you can't tell him about your favorite experience in the past. I'm merely following my instinct. Justin whimpers as you take the ball gag from the ball from his mouth before throwing it behind you. You can't do this anymore. Sighing as it is, you're not mean. Feeling a little guilty and sorry. You lift your hand and gently run your fingers through his hood. For a moment he stiffens, silently caught off guard by your tender strokes. His face relaxes, pupils dilate like a cat's as he closes his eyes and leans to your touch like he's being deprived of it for too long, thus seeking more as given the chance. The previous unsettling wide smile he wore turned softer, unguarded, almost vulnerable. You bet he'll purr if he could. Maybe he could, maybe. You are a kind person, Your Majesty. What makes you think that? I had expected you to be rough with me in this situation, but instead you choose to touch me gently. Feels strange, but I certainly will not complain about that. You start startled when Justin lays his head on your lap. This menacing puppet is now reduced to being your lapdog. You eternally snore at the implication. This is the first time I've ever felt something like that, Your Majesty. You want to ask about the previous king who keep your mouth shut. Felt what? I don't know, strangely. I can't seem to put into words for someone who loves talking. I usually never at a loss when it comes to expressing what I feel, what I think, but this, I don't know, it feels something like happiness. Perhaps yet, even from the word, doesn't seem quite right. Does the word peace describe it enough? Peace, he inhales. Perhaps Your Majesty has a spell on me. He let out a small laugh as ridiculous speculation. Don't be silly. Silence of ease draped over you and him. Not awkward, but enough to make you forget about the rest of the world, stroking Justin's head like you do to a small animal. After several minutes in the same position, Justin finally stands up and snaps his fingers. An instant, his collar and the leash vanish. I believe your time in this kingdom has come to an end. You blink and look at your watch. Oh, my ship's over. Justin senses your inner conflict of reluctance and presses a cold kiss on the back of your hand that makes your heart jolt in surprise. Then, until we meet again, sweet human, he disappears into the darkness. You're not leaving the building with nothing. Recalling story memories that linger in your mind as you bend to yourself in the crowd. If you could, you turn back time to tell your younger self, the one who took the Soldier Poet King quiz, to answer the question with newfound experience. Maybe you've always been destined to become kings, because kings want to become poets. Strive for freedom to feel alive and embrace your emotions, but chained down with logical decisions, responsibilities, and expectations. And to fight for your freedom, you create art as a pathway to accomplish only you can seem to stitch to life, and maybe that's okay. You turn to the building before finally leaving. Maybe you could be a poet that rolls over others, draping a cape of wild imagination on your shoulders and laying down creatively as your pristine marble floor for others to enjoy, and you too. Justin always expects your arrival before you know it yourself. Call it a gesture's intuition, if you will. Seconds pass, then hours, days, weeks, months. It's been very long since all that faded away. Years of anticipation made him restless, you see. He and others used to live in a kingdom so lively, magnificent, and full of joy. A kingdom that was led by a ruler who guided them all towards their life, the purpose of life. A kingdom filled with wise choices, decisions, commands, and laughter, his majesty's subjects. Abandoned and left with the silence, confusion, and despair. Without a proper roar, they didn't know what to do and where to go, clinging to the hopes that someday someone will rise upon the throne and guide them all again. Dream and hope they did, and fate wills it. Their effort was in vain. Perhaps none dared enough to come forth and accept the challenge before you. Perhaps Justin didn't like any and eliminated them all before you. Perhaps he'd been waiting to commit his soul and body just for you. And when you do grace your presence, Justin was eccentric, hardly able to calm himself and mask his cluttered joints. From this first step you land on the kingdom, straying away from his room to stalk you and watch you, memorizing performance on your throne from the dark seat you couldn't see from your peripheral vision. Oh, your majesty, you turn from mundane chores. The maids did as a private concert only for him to enjoy like he's the royal being served luxury on a silver platter. The song, the tune, shivers run down Justin's sensitive spine, like he's a sailor willingly lost in your hypnosis. He is addicted to hear more, huffing and puffing with infatuation and longing eyes. And magic is much exceptional than Wizzy's own might enchanted him with the haunting melody song. As his cold shell turns warm from your passionate care of your kingdom, like he'd always belonged there and never left. Barely a day of knowing you, and he's sure he doesn't want you to leave ever. Wore you out, he did, showing his silhouette on the CTV when the camera blinks. He's sure you're going to fetch him. He wonders about you. Are you going to be a rabbit, a lion, or a wolf when the crown chooses you? No matter, nobody will interrupt you meeting with him, as every vandals and naughty teenagers with foolish audacity have been personally dealt with by neither. The said night, idly stayed in his room after a nice jest he gave. Don't forgive him, your majesty. Do forgive him, your majesty. But the jester might rip you apart if he couldn't control himself. His playful nature is just the surface of his more beastly demeanor, carefully crafted to make your brain unable to forget him, and leave you craving more, like you did him. Supple, soft skin of a very mortal creature. Shriek of a fright from a defenseless prey. Fox courage to make you lift your chin up. Very human. He's also pounced on you. He almost pounced on you, had he not regained himself. He wanted to know more about you, your backstory, your upbringing, your habits, your likes and dislikes, your puzzle pieces of complex personality, all your woes, all your troubles. He's quite the snooper, already planning on infiltrating your humble space. You could never call a room unsuitable, miserable. You deserve more, and the rest of the kingdom must agree with him. Were he not, the previous king of Lavish Chamber will be yours soon enough. Your majesty, say the word to him, and Justin will gladly obliterate your enemies, cutting each of their heads for him to display on the shelves. What he wouldn't do for his Monarch. He was barely able to compose himself when the vermin dared to interrupt his session of quality time with you. Almost snatched your phone and crushed it to pieces. Don't you worry about your pretty head. He'll get his hand on those fools and make sure they're going to be heck on earth for them. Forget them, your majesty. Please keep your eyes on mine. He'll take care of them behind the scenes after track them down at once. He'll tell you sweet lies and more for that. Do you want him to be your goodwill pet? He's all yours. The color shock and surprise suits you well. And when you treat him with harsh tugs, then heal him with gentle strokes, Justin almost feels like he's ascended to cloud 9. He doesn't need to physically go there when you bring heaven with your fingers. Justin truthfully glared at your watch when your shift ends, and absence stripped him away from his salvation. What can a beast do when his source of joy disappears? That's the reason why he dared search and deserving you're sleeping, fragile from his cold snap into everyone. But of course, he's going to do that to his Monarch. As long as you're not aware, it's okay, right, Your Majesty? You made him me so happy, unbearably happy. You come again tonight, won't you? Simply admiring you from afar isn't enough. Of course you will. There's so many things you could do together. Simply couldn't bear it if you didn't. I'll teach you everything you want to know until your hands move exactly the way mine do. I'll show you magic tricks or promise will steal your breath. One I promise to steal your breath away. Just almost intertwines his fingers with yours. Oh, and there's so many puppets waiting for you to meet, to arrange, to belong where you want them. And then Justin felt at peace with you. We could dine together, sleep together, sing together, dance together, always together, and then, your voice haunts him in his wake and dreams. Oh, sweetheart and Kareem, there's simply too many things we could do, and I hardly know where to begin. As long as you never leave my side, Justin is not sure if he's himself or his beastly side. Truly, what have you done to me, Your Majesty? I'm beginning to believe that your sorcerer of terrifying power, even Wizzy, the loyal mage, couldn't twist a heart like this. He's not going to complain about being lesser than mortal. I feel as though I've been caught in your web, wrapped tightly, unable to escape, simply waiting to be devoured by you. Take his everything, please, Your Majesty. I scarcely recognize myself anymore, Your Majesty. But somehow, I don't wish to go back. If losing himself means to always be by your side, then so be it. The kingdom needs you. I need you. He's lying, but he's a jester. No, I want you. I crave you, my Monarch. YN. Wizzy must be infinitely his magic by now. I've never felt anything this overwhelming before. I want to stay by your side, watch you breathe, crave your image into my mind, touch you, and perhaps sink even deeper into you, until there's nothing left but us. Control yourself, Justin. No. How improper of me, a mere jester touching his roar so boldly. But if you were to grant me permission, I would cherish every inch of you with utmost devotion. And if he's been proper all this time, oh my Monarch, I can hardly endure the wait to see you again. I wish this time would rush forward, and yet freeze complete when I am with you. If only time could bend itself just for you. Was his summoning circle forcibly pulls him back into the kingdom. I'll take my leave now, my Monarch. May your dreams be filled with me, YN. And just like that, you lost yourself in your personal space to the royal jester while you're sleeping soundly. None the wiser, such a tragic comedy. And that was my Monarch. Please, if you like the fanfic, check out Monarch Freak, and I'll put the link in the description and in the pinned comments. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, liking the video, and coming down. I'll see you guys next time.